Good afternoon runners, and welcome back to another video from me, that running girl. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Asics Nimbus 27 Tokyo Collection Edition. This is the Tokyo Marathon commemorative shoe, so it is a limited edition shoe, but essentially it is the Asics Nimbus 27 model, and I'm going to be taking you through the pros, cons, ride, comfort and performance of the shoe. So let's get into it. First things first, I just got back from a 5-mile run in this shoe. I did an easy 5-mile today with 10 lots of 1-minute rep pickups. So that's ultimately just a smooth cruising 5 miles and then doing 10 lots of 1-minute faster pace. So the 1-minute reps were anywhere between 7-minute and 7:20 minute mile, and the overall pace was just over 8-minute mile. So that for me is nice easy run in an easy shoe, and I would tell you exactly why this shoe lasts really well for easy runs on a run like that. So again, I just wanted to mention for context the reason why I bought this shoe. I currently have been doing all of my daily runs in the Asics Nova Blast, which is quite a similar shoe, I would say, to the Asics Nimbus, but a lot more bouncy and a lot sort of snappier and lighter. I would personally say that it is still a daily kind of workhorse of a shoe. I would never use the Asics Nova Blast or the Nimbus to do any kind of fast racing in. They're both, to me, essentially daily running trainers. I might use the Nova Blast in a half marathon race or a marathon, but essentially to me they're both highly cushioned running trainers. But I feel like the Nova Blast, if you've worn this, does run out quite easily. I feel like the sole durability kind of breaks down, that bouncy feeling breaks down quite quickly. So I wanted something that would just be a little bit more durable, but still with the kind of plush cushioning and neutral ride that I experience in that shoe. So let's get into it. Stack height is really good on this shoe. It's got approximately a 42mm stack height for a women's shoe and approximately an 8mm heel to toe drop, which just makes it feel like a really nice cushioned shoe that absorbs all of the impact on the road. It just leaves you feeling super confident that when you're out there running, you're not absorbing any kind of, damage to any of your joints or any of your bones. And yeah, just a really plush, super cushioned ride. Interestingly, the Asics Nimbus was the first proper running shoe that I ever ran in probably about 18 or 19 years ago. And I actually vowed to never run in Asics again, because 18 years ago, Asics Nimbus was not the same kind of shoe. It didn't have the same kind of superior engineering that it has now. It didn't have the same kind of innovations, the same foams, and it ultimately just felt like a very dull, joyless ride. And I switched over to Nike 18 years ago, and I wore them for the best part of 10 years. I wore Nike running shoes, and now I have gone back to Asics because I'm really impressed with the range, the Nova Blast, the Nimbus especially, and I just prefer running in those now. So yeah, interesting fact. So let's get on to the sole of the shoe. So the sole of the shoe is a combination of pure gel and FF Blast foams. So unlike some shoes that have like a dual foam in them, this seems to combine everything in one, just with this nice slab of foam going through it. This is also where it differs from the Asics Nova Blast, because the Nova Blast does not feature pure gel and FF Blast mix. It literally just features a FF Blast Max throughout the entire shoe, which gives it a much more kind of springy and poppy ride. It's a lot more bouncy and a lot more fun when you're running in it. But like I say, I just wanted an absolute workhorse of a shoe, so this is where this shoe comes in. When I say workhorse of a shoe, I basically mean that you can take this shoe for basically anything on the road. When you're, doing your casual sort of daily run, when you're doing your long run. I did take it for a 5-mile relatively tempo run today. Like I said, I picked up the pace and did 10 reps of 1 minute in it overall in the 5-mile distance. But personally, it is not a shoe I would use for any kind of, classic speed session or any kind of more extensive or hardcore tempo session. I feel like that's kind of where it's topping out with the limit of it. It definitely feels like a shoe where when you hit the ground in it, your foot very much hits all at the same level. So unlike a shoe, a carbon shoe or a shoe with a rocker in it that's going to encourage that forefoot strike, it very much feels like your heel and your forefoot and your midfoot kind of land all at the same level, which if you're trying to become more of a forefoot striker, or if you're not that efficient, personally, I'm not sure it would be the right shoe for you, even though it's sold as a neutral shoe. I personally feel like shoes that encourage you more into a forefoot strike are really, really nice when you're trying to do that, because it just encourages that really, really efficient motion of running. But this shoe ultimately is absolutely great if you already have that kind of forefoot strike, you're an efficient runner, you're a neutral runner, and you just want something easy and reliable. The look of the shoe is super nice. I really love this kind of subdued lilac and kind of hot coral color. I personally think they could have done the laces in like a zingier color, and I'm thinking about getting some like red laces to go here, because I think that would just contrast really nice with the shoe here. It also has a little icon of the Tokyo collection there, which is obviously to commemorate the Tokyo Marathon. But other than that, yeah, a really, really solid shoe. Another nice thing to note about this shoe is the upper materials are 75% recycled materials. So the shoe has eco credentials, as well as being a really nice ride and a really nice looking shoe. Asics grip, hybrid grip on the bottom of the shoe makes it really nice and stable over wet terrain. Again, contrasting that with the Asics Nova Blast, which is infamously slippery on wet ground. And I have done some races in the Asics Nova Blast in the kind of early winter months of the year where I just felt like it was slipping and sliding all over the place. So that's one thing to note, that you are going to get better grip in the Asics Nimbus 27 than you will in the Nova Blast. Lacing system is really nice. Lockdown's really nice and kind of traditional, as expected, nothing kind of crazy going on there. The width of the shoe is really, really good as well for someone that likes to splay their toes, so that my toes have a really natural kind of landing and footing in the shoe. It's really nice to feel like you can splay your toes in the shoe and they're not kind of all crunched together at the end, leading to things like slapping the front of the shoe, which is what will happen if you're in a shoe where your toes are crunched up, and then you will end up with black toenails or other kind of chain injuries, because if you ultimately crunch your toes up, you're going to lead that tension up through the ankles, through the shins, through the knees, through the legs, and on and on and on. It just causes problems. So for me, I love to have my toes splayed in the shoe, and there's definitely enough width here in the forefoot, in the midfoot, and a good lockdown at the heel. Talking about the heel, it has a really nice cushioned base going on back here, so it's super, super plush and super, comfortable on your Achilles section. It has a nice pull tab here, so it's super easy to get them on. It's a funny thing, I personally think pull tabs look really nice on shoes, and it's really, easy to get them on and off with that. Also, if they're muddy or, wet, it's just easy and more convenient with that, but some shoes do leave them off. I guess it's personal preference. But yeah, in my shoe rotation, this shoe is primarily going to be used for easy runs and long runs, and kind of like my workhorse of a shoe, so that I don't ultimately run out my faster shoes. And so to make sure it's in that shoe rotation as that kind of reliable, sturdy shoe that you just go to every single day on your easy run, and then you switch to something lighter and faster when you pick up the pace in a tempo run. So that's my review of the Asics Nimbus 27 Tokyo edition. Let me know if you run in this shoe currently, or you're thinking about running this shoe, and your comments on it. And I hope you're running well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.